All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachahakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles at Millstone, who are well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the hopeful elect, Shalom, Barakathum. Important question that I want to ask today. Do you really understand what the Lord did for us? All right. Do you really understand what the Lord did for us? Now, that's basically two precepts that come to mind as I was meditating on this. This kind of resonated in my spirit, and it's been pretty heavy this morning. You know, I listened to the Elder Apostle Gabar's video about being poor, and one, I forgot which, I don't even remember the precept he said that made me go down this rabbit hole. But it was his lesson on being poor. But it made me think, do we really understand, you know, what happened, you know, what the Lord, the Most High, and his Son did? Now, I want to illustrate in the business where we use the word delta, you know, which basically just means the difference between something, the gap. Like, there is a huge gap, all right, from what Yahweh Shai is to what he had to go through and suffer, all right? And Lord willing, I'm gonna make this fairly brief, but it's an important thing. Meditate on this, man, because before you get in this I'm tired spirit, or, you know, I don't feel like it spirit, you know, realize what the King of the universe, which is Yahweh Shai, and the Most High, which sits above everything. You know, I'm using the word universe kind of, usually some people, you know, take that term and go with it, but, you know, but I'm going to illustrate to you in Colossians, the first chapter, how high Yahweh Shai is, man. Now, most people get stuck on trying to fathom the Most High, you know, the Father, but when you really think about Yahweh Shai, he is unfathomable as well. I mean, I can't really fully grasp and wrap my mind around it, because everything in creation that we can see and perceive, it's Yahweh Shai. All right, now let's go real quick to Colossians chapter 1. All right, I'm gonna start at verse 13. The incomparable, it says that C word, but I'm gonna say Hamashiach, which means Messiah. That's what the word Christ means. The incomparable Hamashiach, verse 13, it says, who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. All right. And the power of darkness, that really goes, well, obviously the world, you know, which is, you know, the powers of this world are of darkness, but our flesh, the scriptures speak about our bodies being in chains of darkness. As a matter of fact, let me do that real quick before I read the rest of that. Because Yahweh Shai subjected himself at the will of the Father to be in these chains of darkness. All right, Jude 1 and 6. There's 2 Peter 2 and 4. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. What are the chains of darkness? This wicked ass flesh that we got to deal with every day. All right, Jude 1 and 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate. All right, what are the angels? All right, remember, we come out of the heavens. Our spirit are out of the heavens, and there's a heavenly hierarchy. All right, and there are choice men that were selected in the heavens to incarnate into the flesh for a special mission. Okay, and we were going to be we're going to be the what do you call it, the constructors of the world, of the universe. When you read Genesis 1, you don't see the name of the Most High there. You see the word Elohim, because there's a body of angels that were selected to create the heavens and the earth. There's a body of angels that are selected, all right, before anything was created, to be anything physical was created, you know, to be choice men that would do the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, we didn't just create the earth and go back into the heavens. We came down And we are going to be an example, okay, of what it looks like to live righteously and unrighteously. Okay, that's our lot, and ultimately, it's going to come a time period where that's over with, and we get our bodies, and we don't have to do that anymore. Okay. But it says, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. And I speculate that, the elect men that were in the heavens, that were chosen to come down, we volunteered to do that, man. Because the righteous beings, they volunteered. They're happy to do the will of the Heavenly Father, man. You can't think about how we are in the flesh. If you were in the flesh and you knew what you had to go through down here, you may not volunteer, but our spirit is righteous. Lord willing, we be of the elect, that we came down to do this very important mission. Okay. And so that's what we're in. And that's what Yahushua did, the same thing, who is the high priest in the heavens, who is the chief deity under the Most High. All right. There is nothing above Yahushua except the Father. Okay. Now going back to Colossians 1:13, it says, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness and translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. And translate means to transition, or to change over, or to change between something. Okay. And what are we going to change into? Okay. The scriptures say, ye are gods, but you will die like men. That's what we're going to translate into gods, man. That's what's promised. Okay. And it says, verse 14, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. All right. Verse 15, who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature. So so the invisible power is referring to Yahweh, which is the Father. Okay. And he's the image of him, the first creature ever created, man. All right. Now you got to imagine that, man. We think about things through time and matter and space, that before all of that, it was Yahushua, because he's the creator of that. Verse 16, for by him were all things created. Okay. Now, vocab tried to go here or what that nigga God Logic tried to go here and say that by him all things was created, and he tried to include Yahushua in being his own creation, trying to prove the Trinity doctrine, which is nonsense. Okay, he said, well, if all things are created, then that means Yahushua created himself, and therefore he's the Trinity. No. Okay, this doesn't include Yahushua when it says all things were created. All right, the scriptures say Yahushua is a begotten son. So that means that he didn't create himself. The Most High begot him. Okay? So you're wrong. So when it says, for by him all things were created, this is the Most High, then his Son was created, and then everything you know and see, we can't even fathom the things of this world, man. And this is all Yahushua. All glory and honor goes to Yahushua for that, man. Through the power of his Father Yahweh in the heavens. Okay? It says, for by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are in earth. So things that we ain't even fathom and seen, everything in the heavens, Yahushua created that. The heavenly hierarchy, Yahushua is over that. The earthly hierarchy, the throne of David, Yahushua is over that. Okay? So you got to grasp who you're talking about. Okay? When you get down to the matter where, he incarnated in the flesh. Okay? This is a very low, these bodies are very low level things. I mean, it's when you compare it to other things in the earth, yeah, the human body is great, but when you know what's out there, when you know who our power is and what the capacity of his power is, which there is no capacity to it. Capacity means that there's some kind of limit to it, but when you realize these things, then you'll see that these bodies are terrible in comparison. Okay. It says, for by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. All right. Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Okay? So heathen will get mad that they're going to be a slave, or that they're going to belong and be an inheritance to somebody else. But the scripture just said everything created, not just people, belongs to Yahushua. Every blade of grass, okay, every granule of salt, everything that was created belongs to Yahushua. And you think, being a heathen, that you're exempt from it somehow. No, man, we're all possessions, okay? But we're the chosen favorite, okay? That's what you got to wrap your head around, okay? We're the bride that was chosen. So I'm gonna marry them, you know? And it says, and he is before all things. All right? So before time, you know? Or you have time, and then, but he's the first one created. Okay? But everything you see in existence, Yahushua was there before that. You read John 1:1, you get that understanding. If you don't twist the words up. All right, and it says, verse 17, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Okay? So everything you see, your entire understanding, or your entire capacity of understanding, is Yahushua. It's through him. He's that power. I'm really trying to drill this home of who Yahushua is and what Yahushua is. Okay? And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. All right? Meaning we came out of a dead state. We were the first ones to wake up. The first ones to wake up and get this, they're going to be part of the first resurrection. Okay? It says that in all things he might have the preeminence. Okay? So everything's going to radiate out from us, those chosen elect. But he was before us. You see? So when you see those Elohim in Genesis, the first chapter, you know, creating everything, Yahushua had preeminence. Okay? Meaning we were at the behest of him doing those things. Okay? Verse 19, for it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell. So the Most High Yahweh said, it pleases me that everything in creation goes through my son and came out of my son. All right. And it says, and having made peace through the blood of his cross to reconcile all things unto himself. All right. And what is all things? That's really the Israelites that's being reconciled to him first, because we're going to own everything. You know? Yahushua said we're going to be joint heirs. It says, by him I say, whether they be things in the earth or things in heaven. So even including the heavenly hierarchy, the elect are going to have rank. Remember, we were those angels that left their first estate. Okay? This is why angels look up to us and the things that we do, even though we're through down here. You know, we're beat up, our joints hurt, you know, we're tired, you know. You know, you have a little drink to take the edge off here, and your stomach hurts and your headaches, you know. But we're enduring. Okay, we're sticking to the mission. That's what a true man is made out of, man. He's able to endure through the pain. All right, and it says, well, that's really it on that. So now that we understand what Yahushua is, let me go to Isaiah 53. Okay. Verse 1, it says, who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord Yahweh revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. Okay, so You could say that dry ground represents the dry bones, which were the Israelites that he came out of. The Lord grew out as a tender plant. What does that mean? He came out of the flesh around a bunch of niggas, because we all were niggas. Even the elect were niggas at one point. But when we heard the Lamb speak, we woke up. Like Ezekiel 37 said, those dry bones, he said, prophesy to these dry bones and they're going to wake up. That means if you prophesy to the member of the elect, he's going to latch onto it and wake up. Okay? So he came out of that dry ground as a tender plant. What does that mean? He lived in flesh and blood, man. You know? It says, and now compare that to what he is, what I just explained. Okay? and you can't tell me Yahushua is not great, man. All right? It says, and we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. Meaning he's not going to come dressed like Bishop Nate, you know, riding a horse and dripped out garments and, you know. It says, despite he really is the king, the earthly king and the heavenly king. Okay. You know, he's both. All right. It says, verse 3, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. So he imagine being everything, man. You understand everything in the earth and the heavens and how everything works. And then you incarnate into this, you know, this dirty ass, you know, wicked flesh and suffer niggas, man. You know, a nigga is one of the grimiest creatures, you know, that you can encounter, man. And Yahushua incarnated to suffer that. All right. It says, and we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted. So he didn't just come down in the flesh, he was afflicted because he's in the flesh. Okay, the flesh comes with afflictions, man. We experience pain and hunger. Okay. Verse 5, but he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities, the chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So do you understand what the Lord did? You know, like he came down, he suffered heathen and niggas to have to put hands on him, man. This being did this, man. And what I want to say, and I'll close it out, this is the context of why the Lord is going to be so angry when he gets back. Okay? Why he's going to kill so many people when he gets back. Because he did all of that, and you ungrateful niggas had no respect. You just do whatever you want to do. The Lord is angry, man. And if you don't get it, if you don't understand what he's done for you, or if you do understand what he's done for you and you still decide to be in there, that's even worse. All right? And you don't think that his name is important? You don't have that at least that amount of respect to think his name is important? Look, y'all have been warned. The scriptures say that the gospel is going to be preached by the time this whole thing is said and done. By the time Yahushua returns, this gospel is going to be all the way out there, man. All right. It says, that's really it on that. Let me go back to this real quick. Really, I should just close it out. Let's see here. Yeah, that's really it, Akim. There's a few other, there's another other precept you can look at to get more understanding on the scenario that we're in. He's the bridegroom, and he's looking for a choice bride, man. Okay? If you think you're gonna get on the chariot just doing the bare minimum, getting by, you know, technically I'm doing okay, all right. The Lord can put an evil spirit on your ass right now to have you go off and out, cast in the outer darkness you go, you know. So remember what the Lord did, man, and take heart to that, man. Before you complain and open up your mouth, which we all gonna have grumbles and complain to the Lord, but before you get in that spirit of just constantly complaining, man, remember what Yahweh Shai did. All right, I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, it's just edifying. On to the next. Shalom.